nah, 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 nah.
Oh, get ready, get ready, get
Boom.
ready. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, yeah, it's me. It's your boy, the Louisiana Country Boy, coming at you live once more again. Also, what I need for you to do, sit back, relax, put on your headgear. Oh, my worthless 2 cents is about to put something in your ear.
Oh, and here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, yeah, your boy is here. Oh, do you know what time it is? Tell me, do you know? Do you know what time it is? Check the clock. Oh, oh. Oh, it's Wednesday, so it's time. It's time for Table Talk with me, your boy, the Louisiana Country Boy. And tonight, I have the honor, the honor and the privilege of having the owner and founder of the Houston Red Storm coming in tonight. Man, I had to run him down, y'all. I had to run him down. I had to act like I was Walter Cronkite, and I had to, I had to give away my second born just to get an interview with him. But I got it. I got it, y'all. I got it. It is I tell y'all, it is an honor. I will say this. There's so much that this man has to say. I don't know what he has to say, but I know he's got a lot because just like any of us, he has a story, he has a journey that he has been on. And I'm so honored that he is coming here tonight to share. I'm so very honored. I will be honest, y'all. I did not know. I had no idea, probably because I don't have no idea nothing. I had no idea that Houston had a semi-pro basketball league. I had no idea. But he's going to tell us about that. He's going to tell us about anything else that he wants to tell us about. So I'm not going to take up his time because he's a busy man. He's an owner. He's the owner. He's the GM. He's the founder. And man, so each and every one of y'all, I want you to do me one little favor. What I want you to do, sit back, relax, put on your headgear. Oh, Larry D Leonard II, the man on a mission, the man with a plan, the man, the owner and founder of the Houston Red Storm. Larry, welcome to Table Talk.
How you doing, my man? It's a blessing to be here. You doing okay tonight?
Hey, I'm doing well, man. Thank you. It is a blessing to have you, sir. I'm truly honored. I'm truly honored that you have taken this opportunity to grace this platform. Thank you so very much, sir.
Well, thank you for having me, man. I appreciate opportunities like this because it's an opportunity for us to for people to understand and know what we're doing and knowing what we're about. And
Yes.
we're on this joy ride right now, and it's a blessing to be a part of.
Amen. Amen. And I told you earlier, if y'all don't know, we had a talk earlier, and it was a pleasure speaking with him. I wanted to tell him, I was like, I wanted to say, Larry, hold some of that for the show, man, because he has a wealth of knowledge. He does. He has a wealth of experience, not just in business, but also in life. And if you know, and I shared this with you, what this platform is about, man, it is about the opportunity for us to reach others. For us to be able to, here's what I learned, and I'm going to shut up. Here's what I learned. The gifts and the seeds that we have, even though they're ours, they're not for us. Yeah. The things that we have experienced in this life, even though we went through it, but it wasn't for us.
Right.
That is what this is about. That is what this world needs to know. So many times people, they want to stand behind the things that God has brought them through. They want to stand behind and they don't want to share the things that they have experienced or the grace that's been placed on their life. Baby, that wasn't for you. That wasn't for you. He knew that you could make it, but he also knew that there was somebody that was watching you that didn't think that they could make it. So that's Man, that's what this is. And once more again, I'm grateful, man. So I'm not gonna take up your time, man. Wherever you want to start, you start. Wherever you want to end, you end. Whatever you want to share, you share. At this moment, man, this is yours. This is all yours. I told you before, I'm just the doorkeep, baby.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Like I said, it's definitely an honor to be a part of the show. We both Louisiana boys, and it's kindred spirits.
Yes.
So to be on your platform, it's a extreme blessing. We've been doing this for 18 years now. It hasn't been easy, but in 2006, August of 2006, I met up with a gentleman by the name of Charles Key to buy a franchise, a market, the Houston market of the American Basketball Association. And we're probably the only team, the only semi-pro team with a throwback, kind of like the NBA and others professional sports. Because our first name was the Houston Undertakers.
Okay. Wow. Wow.
And I it was crazy because my heart is baseball. Everybody knows that. My heart is baseball. But and I shared with you, in 2005, and I was looking for an organization to either purchase or to launch. And baseball was it's a hard space to get into, and that's actually a sport that I actually played. But an opportunity came. My wife and I, we were on vacation in Dallas, and my son's godparents were with us, and her cousin came to the hotel where we were and greeted her, and he had this ABA embroidered shirt on. And I asked him, I said, "Man, is the ABA still around?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah." I said, "Really?" And he was just kind of giving me some information, and he even gave me the league number, and the rest is history. And I
Right.
was really, really excited about it. Um, and I never forget, we were on the Batman Escape ride on Six Flags in Dallas, and so we were talking about what we gonna name the team and all that. And this certain area on the ride, you know how they had all these theatrics, the
Right.
certain area on the ride while we were in line was a graveyard. And I told my peoples, I was like, that's what we'll be. We'll be the Undertakers. We're gonna bury the competition. And it was cute, but it wasn't a good marketing plan because that failed miserably. I had a sponsor, man. I had a sponsor. I had a funeral home sponsor, man. They was gonna give me a casket, and we were gonna put the opposing team mask. I mean, it was just a lot of theatrics and stuff like that. But now I'll tell you what was clever. Their motto is bar none. Like their motto is just one of the best that I've heard. Their motto is "We're the last to let you down." And I thought,
I like it. Wow.
but but Houston Undertakers was short lived. Then we became the Houston Takers, and I think in 2010 I just changed the name to just Houston Red Storm. Understand the weather down here in Houston, but
Yes.
I wanted it to be something more than just what we've been going through. The
Right.
city of Houston been going through, and most of the professional sports here in Houston, they have a lot to do with astronauts or space.
Right.
And so I wanted to use the storm as something that is something that we go through in life.
Mm.
And so I was intentional when I named it Undertakers, but I was more intentional on the spiritual side when I named it Red Storm. And then a lot of the teams that are around here are red and white and blue, or red and white like the Rockets. So the Red Storm just kind of came to me, and
Right.
and it just kind of stuck, and we've been Houston Red Storm ever since. So that's kind of how we got here.
Man, I love that. I love that. That analogy is that it doesn't just apply. to the team. The
Yes.
storm also applies to life.
Life.
And
Yes. Yes.
that's relatable. That is relatable, man. I get that. Um, so what kept you going though? I mean, and you talk about some of what kept you going.
Um, man, the the drive to really create something, right? Um, because when I speak to other owners coming in, they ask me for advice, and I give them this analogy. You're the vessel.
Mm,
You're the sail attached to the vessel, and you're the wind that blows into the vessel. I'm sorry, you're the wind that blows into the sail to get the vessel moving. So you're all
mm,
those three moving parts.
right.
Um, in particular in the semi-pro space, and that goes whether you're doing baseball, basketball, football, soccer. I mean, as an owner, you're all those three elements, and so you have to put the right people around you. So you know building something from scratch, building it, having people to buy into the vision that you have for your team or have for your organization, and then to stand back and watch this organism move and evolve just from a vision, just from a motto, just from a sentence that you, or a few words that you said to a few people who bought in.
Mm,
And you get your coaches, you get your GMs, of course. You have to get your staff, your statisticians, you have to get your staff for the door. The ticketing company has to be in sync, has to be in place. And then of course you get your players, you get your merchandising. And when you see all those things come together in one night to play one game, it's a beautiful thing to see, and it's a beautiful thing to be a part of. And every night my guys play, it's a joy to see that.
right.
It's a joy to see all of that. So it's truly a blessing.
Yeah, and we said something earlier. I had brought it up to you earlier. You were telling me about some things, and the one thing is how much influence that you as a owner, you as a founder, have on these young impressionable, and I say this, young impressionable young men that are under your guidance. Um,
Yeah. That's something that I pride, um, I take pride in that. I have a responsibility. A lot of them look up to me. And as young men, that's another joy. They're like my little brothers, man. And some of them put me in a position of a father figure, and I take pride in that, and I do my best to be. I do my best to live um, a life where they can look up to, and because that influence, that type of power is so dangerous that when it's in the wrong hands,
yes.
and so it's something that I look forward to doing. I look forward to guiding their lives. I look forward to guiding their careers. I look forward to positioning them to be great,
Mm,
even to be greater from where they are, um, and then eventually being awesome husbands and great fathers to their children, and great businessmen. You know, once you have those type of individuals in your life, you
yes.
just it's just really not centered around basketball, but I teach them. A lot of them are wanting to go other places. They want to go take their career overseas or to the G League or whatnot. And so I share with them, I said, man, look, be careful how you treat this baby. If you
Mm,
take care of this baby, everything else will fall in its place. And so I take pride in the influence that I have on their lives, and it's a joy. Like I said, I've been doing this for 18 years. It's even a joy to watch gentlemen like Josh Jones, who used to play for me back in 2006, 2007. Now he has his family, he has his wife, he has his children. It's a joy watching Keyshawn Reed, who coaches baseball for his son, and who's a father, who's a mentor to young men. It's a joy to watch Bruce Jolly, who also played for me in 2006, 2007, who's a realtor and a businessman. It's a joy to watch. It's a joy to watch Kerry, who does an awesome job coaching children, who played for me in 2009, 2010. Like, these are young men. The list goes on. Marshall, Brandon, like, these are young men that I followed. I still follow their lives even right now, and I check in on them from time to time. And it's a joy to see that. And I hope and pray that I had a lot to do with that.
Man, that is so wonderful. And and you think about it, in my mind, I think that once you are a part of a family. And I don't know how long you or how much practice or any of that, because I don't play no sports. I can watch, but I don't play none. But I don't know how much of that goes into it. But a lot of times, if it's anything like any of us regular people that work jobs or just go to, you spend more time there on these jobs or in this or with the training or whatever it is. So that becomes your extended family because you spent
Yes,
so much time around these people and with them. And you can't just, you know, you want the best for them. And I hear it in you, the compassion that you have for them. This wanting, yes, to succeed, but wanting them to excel. Man, I like that.
yes,
You want to succeed, but you want them to excel.
yes,
And
yes.
that's so beautiful.
I use family a lot, specifically when I'm building the team. It's kind of hard though when you have to cut certain players. Then why would you do family like that? But I tell them, like, sometimes, in life, when there's some family members you have to cut off.
Mm,
And you even share something about the difference between cutting and pruning.
yes.
Um you know and, and the Bible states, when Jesus, um there are times when he was teaching his disciples to prune. When you prune, you're preparing for more growth, but there are
Yes.
some things that are attached to you that you have to
Mm,
cut off. And
come on, man.
so when you make these tough decisions to cut players, and then they fall back, when I thought this was a family. Well, look, it is a family, but you know we can't grow with you here.
Mm,
And sometimes you have to demand respect. And you have to be strong enough to make those kind of decisions.
right.
Those decisions, they don't involve ego. Those decisions don't involve you flexing your muscles because of who and what you are. um you know those type of decisions are made for the betterment of the organization and betterment of the family. So it's a tough job at times, because you get connected to so many guys,
Right.
and either you move on from them or they move on from you. But it's a joy to see them when you see them thriving, and you're able to shake their hand, and there's no hard feelings. It's only business. Or you're just looking out for your brand, you're looking out for your team, for it to thrive. And so, and I say that so eloquently, I had to do that recently.
And I can imagine it not being easy, but you know, what in this life is.
Yes,
Sometimes what in this life is just going to be easy. There are going to be decisions and choices that we make sometimes, and I say we don't make. For me, it's just me personally. Sometimes people get caught up in making decisions and choices out of feelings.
yeah, that's man. I mean, one thing my cousin taught me years ago, said, "Man, do not gamble with your heart.
Come
You'll
on,
be a
man.
broke man. You'll be a broke man." I
Come
love
on.
my Raiders. I love my Raiders, but there's no way in heaven or hell, man, that I would be able to put $10 on this game or that game because they my Raiders. There ain't no way I could do that. But you cannot lead with your heart. You have to be knowledgeable.
Yes.
And a lot of people take your kindness for weakness. And so when you stand on 10 toes on what you believe in and what you've built, I built this to cater to you. But there's some things that are allowed there, and there's some things that we just don't tolerate.
Right.
And so when you have to make those tough decisions, your heart can't be involved,
Right.
because your heart will say give him another chance.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, what happens when a cancer festers.
Yes.
um it'll take the whole organism, or it'll take the whole body down.
Sure.
So again, it comes to pruning. Know when to cut certain things off, and knowing when to move on from certain individuals.
Right.
It stated, I never forget, when I was 11 years old in the 6th grade, we were watching Space Challenger 7 in class. And unfortunately, the aircraft, the ship, or the I don't even know what you call it anymore. The rocket ship, yeah. It exploded, unfortunately.
Right.
But they stated that that was a malfunction of a rocket booster. That each rocket booster that is connected to the space shuttle, it is designed to accelerate the rocket shuttle to a certain atmosphere and then fall off. And
Mm.
when it falls off, 10 seconds later, it explodes. Unfortunately, Challenger 7, that was a rocket booster that was a malfunction because it held on when it was
Too
supposed to
long.
fall off.
Oh my goodness.
And it did its function. It took it to a certain atmosphere, but there's a malfunction where it wasn't able to release. And when it didn't release in its perfect timing, in 5 to 10 seconds, it exploded. Unfortunately, it exploded onto the Space Challenger 7. So there's a lot of times in life where, as we're going higher,
Come
people
on.
are in your lives as you're going on this journey, people are going to go along for the ride. But there's a point in time where certain people, where they need to just fall off because their value is there, but it's only to be with you for so long at a certain atmosphere.
Yes.
And if you hold on to them, there's an opportunity where it could explode and really um, be in great danger of the vision and the direction that God has prepared for you. So, you have to. There's there's a lot of times, when your heart is huge and you continue to hold on to people when you're supposed to let them go. And
Yes.
I mean every time, thank God destruction doesn't happen, but every time something in life happens where God reminds you that you should have let that person go, and that
Yes.
person's character will reveal itself, that you should have let them go because they're now in an atmosphere where they don't belong. They can't even think straight because they're in this atmosphere they can't even tolerate the air. The air is so thin, and
Mm-hmm.
by you not letting them go, it can endanger the vision and direction that God has for you. So
Man, I'm listening to you and I'm hearing you and I'm soaking it in. And you know what's coming to my mind as I'm listening? You know what's coming to my mind? A
what's that?
staircase. A
Yes,
staircase. Every step on that staircase has its importance and its place.
yes,
If you stay on step number 3, you will never reach the top of the staircase.
yes, sir.
You can stay there. You can want to get up there. But if you don't, you got to release this step to get to the next. And there
Right,
ain't no shade on the step down here because
right.
it held its place. And that's what we miss sometimes. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna let you have it. But that's what we
Nah,
miss sometimes is that we be trying to take things with us. You can't pick up that step and take it on up there because guess what? You're gonna have to go back down that staircase at some point in life.
Yes, sir.
If you have removed the step that was there in its place where it was supposed to be, it was only supposed to be there to elevate you to the next.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And sometimes we hold on to things and try to pull things with us where God has told us to go. It wasn't that it was not valuable. It wasn't that they are not valuable. It's just that their value stops here.
Yes. And here's the hard thing to say, and it's a hard thing to accept. There is value, but where you're going, their value is not necessarily needed.
Yes. And that's
And
not
so,
ugly.
and so it's safe to say, it's hard to say this, but it's safe to say, so where you're going, they have no value there.
Yes.
They have no value. And that's hard to say. That's hard conversations to have sometimes, but it's necessary.
Yeah. And
It's
if I
not that
take
you don't
you,
have value in your life. You have value in your life, but there's a certain point in my life where you have no value because it's a hindrance. You would be a hindrance. You would be a
yes.
hindrance. Moving forward, you
And
would be
and
a
that's on both
hindrance.
ends. If I try to
Yes.
take you
Yes.
here, then you can't. Your value that you have there nobody will be able to get it. What you can train somebody to do, what you can pour into somebody where you are at, where you at, wherever it's at, you have something to pour into somebody.
Yes.
If
And
I try to say, well, take
man, yeah, I run into players all the time that used to play for me, still playing, and like I said, I want to make sure that they're good. I want to make sure they're
Mhm.
in a situation where they're being taken care of. It's just right now the Houston Red Storm uniform is just, that time has come and gone. And so again, when you use that word family, that's a hard, a lot of people, when they hear the word family, they don't understand, like, man, yeah, I need to move on from you. But we can still be cordial, we can still be cool. But regarding in regards to what I'm doing, no. And here's the thing, there's a player that I brought back that, probably for the sixth time I brought him
Wow.
back. But you know, they show you every time, man. They show you every time. They take your kindness for weakness. And so, now I'm at a point where it doesn't matter what he says, it's
Right.
a no.
But
You
look,
understand what I'm saying?
what did Maya Angelou say? When someone shows you who they are,
Yeah.
believe them.
And it's not a bad thing. It's just,
No.
you know, you are more dedicated to them than they are to you. And
Mm,
so when you see that, then you have to move on from that. And that's, again,
yes.
that's a tough conversation to have, but it's necessary.
Right.
So I mean, I I I count it all joy in the lives you know that have come across and worn our uniform and worn the shield, worn the logo, worn the brand. They've played for the brand. I thank God for them in my life, and they will never be removed from what they've done for our organization. There's no player that I would say that I wouldn't go back and say thank you. Every player in every phase of our organization, I have no problem going back and saying thank you for your contribution, regardless of how they left.
Right.
That's just the kind of man I am.
And that speaks volumes. That speaks volumes. Like I know that you have the storm, and I know that you have some other ventures that you are doing, some other wonderful things. But I want to ask the question. I know that you're an entrepreneur. You was a big businessman. Hey, wait a minute. I told you I wasn't gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it. Look at here, Larry. Look at here. If there's a real point that you need somebody to come out there. If you need somebody to come out there and introduce the Houston Leonard strong. Like I'm just telling you. I told you we was on LinkedIn, so yeah. Look, I'm applying for
Right.
the job.
Yeah.
But
I got you. I got you.
hey, look, I want to know this though, and I know that all these things that you do, and all these different hats, and all these titles, removing all of that. And here's my question: who is Larry?
I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a man of God. I'm a grandfather. Um, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a man who has a big heart. A man who sometimes heart gets in the way. I'm a caring man. I am a man that will always see the good in you until you show me your true self.
Mm,
I'm a man that I always want to look to give you an opportunity, to give you a chance. Um, I'm a man who listens. I'm a man of wisdom. Um, I'm a man that is scorned, but I'm faithful. I'm loyal. I'm blessed. Um, Never bitter. I don't hold grudges, and I tend um, to be loyal to those who are loyal to me. That's me in a nutshell.
hey, and that right there, um, and that takes a lot, and it takes time to get to some of those things, because some of those attributes are also the most dangerous things in our lives.
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Man, it
yeah,
can woo,
yeah,
it can
yeah,
rock that boat.
yeah. They
Um,
as the people say, man, life be lifing,
like,
and it tends to show you um the good things of life, and it'll show you the bad things of life.
right,
But I don't want to say the bad things. The bad things happen because people allow those things or those thoughts to take over them.
mm,
Life is just life. I
yes,
had a friend who passed away 11 years ago, and and I spoke at his funeral, and I just said, I said God didn't need him so much, because one of the first things, and I get it, a lot of people say, um, God plucked the rose out of his heavenly garden. And I get that, and then God called us home and all that. And I get that. I said, but God didn't need him so bad that he had to take him away from his family,
mm,
that he had to take him from his sons, and he had to take him from his daughter. Sometime life happens. A lot of things that we can't explain. Life happens. Death is hard to accept,
yeah,
but it's also hard to explain. When somebody's praying for their health and those prayers aren't answered, then you come back and ask God why, right? And then there's somebody who that you don't care for, that's in your life. They've had cancer, and it seems like they're healed of cancer. So then you say, well, God, why you just didn't take them? Death is such an absolute, but at the same time, it's unexplainable. Even
yes,
for men and women of faith, we can't explain everything. We don't really know exactly what God is thinking when it comes to a certain life. Um, I lost my mom. It'll be 5 years in April, and my mom had never spent no more than 2 hours in the hospital.
mm,
My sister go and take her in for a checkup, and she doesn't check out. Um, you know, I think the last time I remember my mom in the hospital longer than a day was maybe when I was 3.
wow,
Can't really explain to you to this day how I lost her. Um, I just know she's not on earth anymore.
Right.
But I don't ask God, why did you choose my mom? I just, grief is an interesting thing. So there's two sides of grief now. So before my mom passed, there was an understanding of grief that I would speak to families of loved ones that have passed away. Now on this side of grief, I have a little bit more meaning of what grief truly is after the loss of my mother, and I share this with people. Allow time to do what time does,
Yes.
right? And it doesn't distance you from that loved one's life, right? But it caters to your heart that makes every day livable without
Yes.
that person in your life.
That is.
So, you-
I feel you on that. You know, my mom passed in 2013, um, and I don't. And I have a co-host. My co-host, she just lost her father. I think it was in September,
wow.
and it doesn't for me. You don't forget. You just learn how to cope every day.
Yes.
It's it's
Yes.
it's not something that goes away, but you just cope a little bit more every day.
Yes.
And for me, it's been those things. You know, um, sometimes I'll be just here hanging out, and I'll remember something that my mama said. Boy, I just crack up because it's those,
Yeah.
or it will be those
Yeah.
moments when you remember something else and it'll bring a tear to your eye.
Mm-hmm.
You as we sit here, and I don't know about you, as I sit here, my mother never had an opportunity to witness her son here,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's those things. It feeds me. It 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 feeds me to just continue to keep going. To For me, I say this. And I've spoken at funerals, and I've heard many of people come up and they say how much somebody meant to them. Oh, this person meant this to me, and they were so kind to me. And what I say, if they meant something to you, how you keep that legacy alive is whatever they poured into you, you go pour it into somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's how, if that was that thing, if
Yeah.
that was what they poured into you, and you want to say this now, then you show. Don't just talk about what it was. You show it. If you can say, oh, they were so compassionate and loving, then guess what? If you want to continue that legacy that they poured into you and continue them to keep on living, you go be compassionate to somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You go
Yeah.
be forgiving to somebody else. You go be kind to somebody else. That's how you keep that thing going. For me, that's how I do it.
And that's a form of lifing. Like
Yeah.
it's every facet of what life is.
Yes.
And so you learn to live with it. You have to adjust your life. And like you said, and cope. So in certain things in business, um, I hate my mom is not here to see. Um, some accomplishments. I mean, there's a case that I went through for 3.5 years, and man, to for her not to see the victory that that we ensued or that we witnessed, that's a but but we counted all joy because she introduced us to praying for one another. She
Mm.
introduced us in lifting one another up in prayer when there's a need. And so there's a lot of things that I learned during that process that the seeds of my mom planted got me through, to see the victory that God gave us.
Yes. Yes. And people, when I say about the sowing and the things that you've talked about that you've gone through and dealt with, people may never say it. There may be people that will never say a word to you, but they watch. Some
Yes.
people watch in hopes of you falling, and others are watching and praying in hopes that you succeed.
Yes.
And on both hands, you may never ever hear a word from either one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that they're watching.
Yes.
Um, and when we carry ourselves, and again, it ain't carrying yourself because you're going like, well, I'm worried about who watching, but you carry yourself not for them,
Mm. Yeah.
but for yourself.
Yeah.
You carry
Like
yourself.
I
Go ahead. I'm
always
sorry.
say, man, I always say, whoever's watching on whichever side you're watching, just get your popcorn ready. Whatever side, whatever
Get your
side you
pop.
watching, get your popcorn ready, man. There's never a dull moment.
Hey, there you
There's never a dull moment. So I mean, never a dull moment. So man, it's hey, we're here.
go. Yes,
And just get your popcorn ready, whichever side you on.
that's it. That's it. That's it, man.
Yeah.
And and we live this life and we walk. Each and every one of us. Here's something I always have said. I've said this from the inception of this show. Is that we're all on this journey together.
Yes,
We're
sir.
all on this journey together. However, we each have our own individual stories.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Seeing
Yes,
what
sir.
the greatest thing that I've learned is there's something about your story, Larry, that can help me on my journey. Because
Yes, sir.
there's something that you have experienced. There's something that you can say, and I can be like, if I'm paying attention.
Yes, sir.
If I'm paying attention to what you're saying, what they call them now, these nuggets. If I'm
Yes.
catching the nuggets that you're
Yes.
dropping. See, a lot of people talk about the lesson that life has taught. But here's what I say about that, because there's an added to it. It's not just about the lesson, because life will teach you a lesson. But here's
Yes,
the
sir.
thing. Are you applying what you've learned in that lesson?
Yes, sir.
Because if you ain't applying it, baby, it can teach you all you want to.
You just out here. You just out here, man. You just doing what you're doing. You just out here, bro. Free Willy. It's just free will. You out here, man. Yeah.
Oh
So
man. Hey. All right. Before we go, I want for you to share more about what you got going, the team, whatever information about that, because I want people to come out and support. I want people to come out and enjoy. I want people to come out and be rooting what they read. I got my red and white on. I need to give me some of that gear though. I need to give me some of
yeah,
that gear.
I got some
Uh,
merch for you, man. I got some merch for you. Yeah, I got some
hey,
merch for you.
because I will definitely be on here spouting.
Yeah,
But I want you to be able to share and tell them where they can come and come out and support, because I think that it's important. What you're doing is a wonderful thing,
I
not
appreciate
only
it.
as an owner, not only as a founder, but just as a man in general. I tip my hat to you, sir.
I
So yeah,
appreciate it,
tell
man.
these people how they can come out. And I don't know if you want to release your other little thing that you got going on,
Oh, for
but
sure. Yeah, for sure, man.
yeah.
Nah, man. I thank you again for having me. I'm sorry I'm in the car. I had to get some meds for the wife. She wasn't feeling good, but no, man. You can look us up at HoustonRedStorm.com. This is our 18th season. And we're looking to do some great things. We're in the middle of our season. We're 7-3. We ranked nationally ranked 25 out of 132 teams. Um, and we're on the road this weekend, but come out on the 25th. We have our in-state rival, Alamo City All Stars. Man, that game averages almost 150 people. Come out and see why people love to see us play ball. I take pride in putting a fine product on the court for you to see. I do my best to put the best players on the court that entertain you. And of course, it's not at the cost of some pro sports. Rockets tickets will cost you minimum $25. That's a nosebleed. Our tickets are only $12, and you can buy merchandise and all that. So visit us at HoustonRedStorm.com, or you can visit us on Facebook at Facebook.com/The Red Storm, or you can watch us. You can go to Instagram, on IG, one word, Houston Red Storm. We're everywhere. We have almost 20,000 people following us on social media. So be a part of the family, be a part of the Red Storm Nation. And trust me, you will be a fan after seeing one game of us. Our tickets are affordable for a reason, because we want as many fans to come out and enjoy what we're doing. So
Man, that
yeah.
is excellent. That is
And
excellent.
then we're about to launch our own independent baseball league here shortly. We have media day tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. If you want to be a part of that, uh, feel free to do so. The information will be on our fan page that we are currently organically growing. But it's on YouTube. I'm sorry, YouTube is just out there. It's on Facebook, Teshua Professional Baseball League, TPBL for short. Um, we are working with another agency in getting an opportunity to give young men again an opportunity to play baseball on a professional level. And
Wow.
baseball is my heart, so this is something I'm kind of, I'm praying really takes off. We had a phone call yesterday from Arizona, and man, there's seven teams that want to be a part of our league from out there. So we're off to a
Wow.
real nice start. We have a combine on January 31st at 9 a.m. Registration for the combine is only $275. And somebody asked me, like, man, that's a lot cheaper than other leagues. Why is that? Well, because I want to make sure that the young man who can't afford the $600 or the $900 combine, I want to make sure he comes out and show us what he has. So I try to, provide an affordable cost so we can get players that are under the radar.
Right.
And again, our media day will be tomorrow at 6 p.m. I'm working to hook up with Derek May. Used to play for the Houston Astros, the St. Louis Cardinals. He has a league that they're about to launch in the summer. And so there's just a lot of huge things in that space, in the baseball space, that I'm looking to do. And I'm super excited about it. So, um, you know, look us up. Um, we have an abundance of opportunities. But we're here to entertain you in sports and do it in a place where it's affordable, so you can be able to look. You be able to attend our games and still pay your light bill. How that work?
Mm. There you go. Hey, I,
Yeah.
I am I am so proud of you, my friend. I'm so proud of you. Once more
Thank you,
again, I
man.
tip my hat to you for everything that you're doing. It is amazing. It is amazing. Y'all make sure you go out, go look them up on Facebook, go look them up on Instagram. The Houston Red Storm. Boy, I'm applying for that job. Boy, look at woo, that
Yeah,
boy
you
working.
you you auditioning hard over there, brother. I see you with your red and white too, man. I'm peeping. I'm picking up what you're putting down, partner. I
Subliminal
appreciate
messages.
that, man.
Subliminal messages. Boop, boop.
I like that, man. I like that. I like that.
Hey,
I like
you
that.
know, I told you when I spoke to you earlier, as we get ready to shut it down. I told you I only asked one real question. I asked this
Yes.
question because it means a lot to me. I think it is one of the most important questions anybody could be asked for you. I present it to you tonight, my brother, Larry D. Leonard II. Here's the
Yes,
question
sir.
from the old country boy.
What's
Sir,
that?
what is your why?
My why. Um, it's I I love to help. Um, I love to be a blessing. I love to create platforms where people can thrive. It's not necessarily about me, but it's an effort that I try to put forward so it can become a collective effort. Um, I love to see people thrive. I love to see people win. I love to see people celebrated. Um, when when I took the team to Smoothie King Arena, where the New Orleans Pelicans play, I wasn't in the picture. When they took a team picture, I wasn't in the picture because I want to see them look great. I want them to see what success looks like. I want them to experience what success looks like. I want them to look the part of success. So I wasn't a part of that picture, and I did that for a reason. Because when you see success, I wanted people to see them, and so that's why I do what I do. I love to see people win. I love to build. I love for people to benefit from what I built. I never want to position myself where it's me, 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 me. Um, I always want to position myself to assist, to help, to continue to build, and to launch. And even in my launching of whatever I have my hands on, is for always for an individual to benefit from that. Never to tear them down, but only to build them up. Never to take away, only to give. So that's the story of my life, of my why. Um, and I look forward to this next chapter in my life, where I'm able to give more of myself, to be a blessing to those who are needing avenues to get what they need, or need to are needing avenues to get to certain places. I pray that God blesses me and continue to bless me with the vision that's in my hands to assist people to do that. And I know people are gonna say this, that, and the third, but man, I don't worry about that because I know what God has placed in my hands.
Yes.
And I keep my hands in His hands.
There you go.
And as
Mhm.
long as I keep my hands in His hands, and people can say what people say about you that aren't true, they will wither away like feathers.
Mm.
And it's interesting because a lot of people like to speak the negative things that have happened to you as if that's what you are. But again, we talk about this thing called time. Time will allow that to wither away.
Yes.
So I just continue to build.
Hmm.
And we keep moving, and we keep thriving in the process.
Amen. Amen. When you just said that, what came to my mind?
What's that?
All you have to do is weather the storm.
Yes, right. Let me tell you something, man. I'll leave you with this. My dad, my dad taught some. He shared something with me, um, about the eagle,
Mm.
and he told me. I told him. I said, man, um, man, I've been trying to get rid of this bird as our mascot for about 7 years. Um, and he asked me why, and I shared with him. I'm like, it's when whatever team I put together, I want to dominate on the court. Um, whatever team that put that uniform, I want to dominate. I don't want to show any mercy on the court. We beat you by 20, we beat you by 30, we beat you by 40. I show no mercy. And he said, interesting thing about an eagle is, and after he told me this, it totally changed my perception of huh, why this team is named the Red Storm. He said an eagle can fly through a storm,
Mm.
and he doesn't necessarily have to use much energy when he does it. He said he can glide through the storm clouds and he can fly above the storm
Mm.
without using much energy. He can fly almost 10 miles without flapping one wing over the storm. And man, my pop shared that with me. I was like, say less. we
Yes.
then it shall remain. And I'm gonna tell you this. It showed me why it was hard to remove the eagle from my mascot.
Yes.
It that alone taught me how, and it taught me why. And so that fella in the back with the ball in his hand, yeah, that's intentional.
Yes. There you go.
That's
There
intentional.
you. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, Larry, I thank you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so very much for taking the time out of your schedule to come over and sit with this old country boy. Man, it has been a
Enjoyed it, man.
joy. It has been a joy sitting. And you're always welcome back, sir. You're always welcome back.
Thank
I
you.
hope each and every one that listens, y'all go out and support. You go out and support. Go out and support. We're right here in Houston. If you ain't in Houston, just fly into Houston. It don't matter. The storm.
It
Come
don't
catch
matter.
out the storm. Come catch the storm. Don't matter. Fly in, catch the storm, fly. That's what you
Yes,
do.
sir.
Uh,
Yes, sir.
I thank you, sir. I thank you. And you're always welcome back. And always know this. And I don't just say this. It's not just me saying it. When I say it, it's from my heart. If there's anything that this old boy could ever do, this platform that God has given me to watch over, if any way that it can ever be of any kind of assistance, it's here. It is here. It ain't mine. I don't lay claim on it because it ain't mine. Um, but it
Appreciate
is
it, man.
here. It is here to uplift, encourage, and support others.
Appreciate it, man.
That is the foundation of it, and that's what it's going to grow on. It's just doing that and being that and giving a place for people to come and share, open, honest, and transparent. No
Appreciate
holes,
that, man.
no ain't no judgment over here. Oh, I can't judge. No way. I'm from. Lord knows I can't judge nobody. but just
Appreciate it,
know
man.
that I'm always here. If there's anything, and we would definitely try to make it out this weekend.
Yeah.
I have to bring my little executive producer out this weekend. Let her bounce
Come
them
on.
out,
Bring her, man.
so she can
Bring her.
so she can
Bring
enjoy
her.
that. To each and every one of y'all, I thank y'all. I thank y'all for tuning in. I thank you so very much. Before I close, I want to do this. Is if there's any last words that you want to leave the people with, if there's any last anything, what they say, if there's any last nuggets you want to get these people, put it in their ear.
No, we went through something for 3.5 years. The name was tarnished. Um, Business was seriously affected. Um, but we came out victors. And I just want to say thank you for those who are watching. If you prayed for us, or if you wished us well, or you were supportive, I just want to say thank you. And the best is yet to come. And continue to pray for the work that God has in my hands. And I thank you for this opportunity. I thank you for allowing us to be on your platform, sir.
Thank you once more again. Thank you. Man, that's it for us. Thank you, each and every one of y'all that tuned in, via Facebook, be it Instagram, be it LinkedIn, be it TikTok, wherever you may be, YouTube. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for joining. No, I do not. In each and every one, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm bad about reading comments. If it's your first time, old country, I be focused, y'all. The comments over here, I be focused. I can't. my my, my co-host ain't here with me, so y'all know I just be running my trap. But to each one left a comment, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so very much. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in. Greatly, 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 greatly appreciate it so very much. I do not take it lightly. I appreciate it. I'll say these words, and I say this to them all the time. Larry, I never close a show out without saying this right here. I tell everybody to do this because this is what I do. Walk in purpose on purpose. Follow the vision that God has given you. Let me tell you something. If people don't realize this, if y'all don't realize this, it took me the longest time to realize this. God has given everybody three things: vision, purpose, and instructions. Vision, purpose, and instructions.
Yes.
Walk in the purpose, follow the vision, but follow and abide by the instructions. Let me tell you something. As you're walking in purpose, as you're following your vision, take it from me. There are going to be people that's going to be mad at you. There are going to be people that's going to hate on you. There are going to be people that are going to tell you that you too old to be doing that. Oh, you too short. You too fat. You too skinny. You too tall. Hair too long. Hair too short. Hair too gray. Hair too black. There will be people that will come up and tell you each and every reason why you shouldn't be doing what you've been called to do. They'll be there. They'll be coming. They're going to come with everything. Let me tell you something about those people. If y'all don't know, those people actually believe in your vision more than you do. They believe in the vision. They just don't like you. I'll say it again because y'all might miss that one. They believe in the vision. They just don't like you. They're just upset that it's them, that is not them doing it, and that it's you. If God has called you and your purpose is to be a painter, baby, get a brush and keep on stroking. If your purpose is to be a writer, get some pens and paper and keep on writing. If it's to produce a movie, keep producing. If it's to own a basketball team, own it. Whatever it is, do it. Don't worry about the naysayers because they're doing their job. Their job is to convince you not to. Don't get distracted by the distractions because it's easy to do. Keep on walking in your purpose on purpose. Keep on following your vision. Let me tell you something. Here's why it's so important and so crucial for you to walk in your purpose and follow your vision. See, I said this earlier because it is yours. That's your vision. That's your purpose, but it's not for you. See, when you walk in it, what you're doing, I gave this illustration. When you walk in it, what you are doing is it's like running a relay. You're carrying the baton to somebody else. See, when you walk in yours, it's going to open the door up for them to walk in theirs.
Yes, sir.
Each and every one of us, nobody can do what you do. They might can do it like you do, but they can't do what you do. They can copy you, but you're the only original. See, your DNA is on your purpose. Your DNA is on your vision. It can't be duplicated. It can't be. That's why it's so crucial for you to walk in it.
Yes,
walk
sir.
in it. Regardless of what people say, walk in it. And I say this with my chest stuck out when I say this. It's that I believe in your vision. I believe in the purpose that God has given you. Why? Because he is the one that gave it to you. And who am I to question what God didn't get? No. That's not for me to question.
Not at all.
It's not for me to question. If God gave it to you, I support you in it. I support you in it. And I root for you, and I cheer for you, and I encourage you. Continue going. Continue going. Yeah, sometimes it may get hard, but keep on going. You might not be able to walk a mile, walk a step. Just keep going. And lastly, but not leastly, Lastly but not leastly, oh, if you woke up this morning and your eyes, you cleaned out your ears and you tried to hear, but the country boy's words were just not clear. And if you was rolling out there today, looking up and looking down, if you was like me, you was in Houston, you had a jacket on, had a jacket off, it was hot, it was cold, it was raining. If you was all of that and you was trying to hear the old country boy's mouth, but you was like, it just ain't clear yet. Well, here it is, 9:15 Houston time. On behalf of myself and my guest, the Larry D Leonard II, I say these words with my red and white, my red and white. My red and white. I say these with my red and white stuck out. I say these words with my chest stuck out. I love you. I love you, each and every one of you. I love you, and I love you unconditionally. And there ain't nothing, absolutely, positively nothing that you can do about it. Thank you, Larry. Thank you so very much. It has been a pleasure, my brother. I look forward to seeing you this weekend, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, get out of here. We are
Thank you, man.
All right.
All right.
And